It's got me thinking a lot about spontaneity. In trees on the beach. I think there's a wave out there. That's a great, beautiful little like meandering reflection. What's this about? What's happening? Welcome to the dunes of Castle Rock on the north coast of Northern Ireland. It's a midweek winter morning and I have come up for a bit of a surf. I was checking surf reports. I could drive up here and they're not quite as good as I thought they would be, and it just got me thinking a lot about spontaneity. This is one of my favorite places in the country. I fucking love Castle Rock, and there are waves. Look at that. I've been driving to the North Coast for a very long time. I started surfing here years ago with a bunch of friends. When we were younger, carefree kids, back when I had hair, back in those days, we used to drive up here all the time. And we didn't really spend much time checking surf reports or looking at conditions. We just sort of mindlessly went to the beach. There's a hole there. I could throw that at that flag. Horrible. There were certain surf tools, sites like Magic Seaweed, that you could use to sort of check the report. But basically, we came up with just optimism, nothing else. Get here sometimes would be amazing. Some days would be ridiculously big. Other days would be like flat. You drove up the whole way with this optimistic vibe of surfing, and then when you got there, you know your decision was made for you. And if you got a good surf, you got a good surf, and that was cool. But sometimes you didn't get a good surf. Sometimes it was shit. It was really small, or you didn't even get in the water. Sometimes you'd come up and it'd be like a glassy lake, and you're just like, well, that's completely wasted, pointless. But the important thing was always the knock-on effect afterwards as to what you did. There's a dude out there in a paddleboard, which is nice because it gives you an idea on how to judge what's happening. This is mad. These poles are normally like that high. This is the battering that Castle Rock Beach has taken after Storm Dara. That's why there's fucking trees on the beach. The poles haven't got smaller, by the way. There's more sand on the beach. Storm has brought sand, and you can see it all the way up these banks. I think that's surfable. I think there's a wave out there. I always feel like I have to walk down to seawater level to understand the real height of it. And I like nice, small, chill waves, especially in winter when it's freezing. So we would come up here, and if it was shit, if the conditions were small and you weren't going to go for a surf, you were already up here. It sort of forced you to just do other stuff. And you'd always find there'd be some other small adventure, a little bit of opportunism, you know? But nowadays, like the amount of surf knowledge you can get about a break before coming up to it. And you know what really sort of flagged it for me? It's a buddy of mine who lives up this direction, and I surf with him. Say if we've organized to go for a surf, he'll message me like on the morning and go, it looks a bit shit. Just like, I don't think it's worth coming up for. You know, sometimes maybe he's right. Maybe it is actually shit and it's not worth coming up for. For me, I'm like, don't take that away from me. Let me live that dream. I'm losing a lot of crap in the back. Nowadays, we have so much information at our fingertips that we can decide all aspects of things like surfing and decide whether we do want to or don't want to go, which is great for someone like me who lives far away from the beach. I can, because I've got quite good at reading the reports that I like. So I get to the point where I'm like, I know that there's like a 2-hour window that I can go and surf. But there's other days where like, I don't need people to tell me it's good or bad or shit or whatever. Maybe I just need the journey. Maybe that's what's important. Oh my gosh, that's a great session. I nailed the window. Perfect blend of knowledge and optimism. Now, took the DJI Osmo in with me. I noticed just before I went in, you can see here, see there? there's a crack. And I wondered, because it switched off recently when I was using it, and I was like, the fuck happened to it? Just before I went in, I rubbed a little bit of wax in the crack in the hope that it would fix it. It didn't. So, you know, don't rub wax into your cameras. No, it's fucked. That's another action camera gone. I dropped my GoPro in the sea, surfing here about a year ago. That's the DJI Osmo, absolutely fucked. I only got the Wolfang, which is a legitimate piece of garbage. Maybe it's time for like an Insta3. What should I get? Insta360, like one of the new ones. Like the 360 camera. That could be kind of fun. Do I get a new GoPro? I really like GoPros, but I can't argue with they're useful at times. What were we talking about? This is Downhill Beach. I was gonna go try to get a coffee at Seashed, but I forgot it's winter opening hours. So I'm just gonna freeze for a little bit. But what I was saying was, sometimes you just need the journey and the experience. And what I find a lot of the time is, like, I like it up for surf, but I like also coming down for a walk on the beach. It's empty, there's no one about. It's beautiful. There's been a bit of a change in like the river bank here, coming from the rivers are behind us. So it's like broken a lot of this out. And I've just seen beautiful little like meandering sort of stream down the Muslim temple in the background. So take a few photos. Buddy Ryan and I used to travel up, go for a session, go get a cheesy Beano chip, and then we would cruise about the north coast and shoot photos. But there was always something fun happened around the surf. So the surf may have been a reason for bringing us up, but it was a spontaneity around the stuff around it. And see those days where the surf was shit, but we'd driven up anyway? I loved it, because those were the days where you were like, oh, fuck's sake. And then you would go and find something else to do. Check this out. Like, how cool is this? You know? Reflection there. We have all that tech and it's super helpful, but at the same time, it ruins the journey around the thing that we're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, check this out. You might not be as excited as me at this. I love reflection photos, and I don't walk around enough and shoot stuff like that anymore. It's like I just never had the time to do it, you know? There is no noise up here at all. This is a place called Gortmore. It's like a viewpoint on top of, I guess, the mountain up to Benevna. I've never been here before. What exactly is it? It's a man up there. What's this about? What is this fella doing? He still looks like he's vlogging a little bit, doesn't he? Let's put a camera in his hand, take a photo of that. You know what I'm saying? He is vlogging, isn't he? Classic. There's no noise apart from me talking. You've got Benevna Mountain out that direction. You've got Benone Beach behind us, small waves breaking. The only thing you can hear is faint sounds of gunshots. Because that's the firing range down there. So like sometimes you can't walk along certain parts of that beach because they shoot. It's army or police or something. Firing, practicing shooting photos, shooting guns. Bang, 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 bang. My issue with all of that tech is it rushes you through the journey and the experience. You've always got a reason to go somewhere or a reason to do something, but it's the things that happen around that makes up the bulk of life. From a surf perspective, we got all these tools now to pick the little moment of when we want to surf, which is great. I'm not complaining about that at all. But the downside to that is I forget about all this stuff. And it sounds so silly. Oh, what you found a viewpoint, class. And what? All these little journeys, all these little things now that happen around either shoots that I'm doing or activities that I'm doing for myself. All it builds up, first off, a knowledge base of the country that I live in. It gives me an understanding of what we've got available to us. And that helps me when I have a creative idea or I'm working on a client project and I need a location. My wife's always like, how the fuck do you know these back roads? How did you know this little thing was there? And I'm like, think from stuff like this. That's how I started to learn so many things about this country. Like this whole part around us here, which is like Benone Beach going into Limavady area. You have these big mad hills and then there's this big weird flat area where I'm pretty sure they grow grass, which sounds silly. I understand that, but I think they actually, you could fact check this. I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's a place where they like grow strip grass and then they so when you go to like anywhere where you buy rolls of grass, I'm pretty sure they grow some of it here. And I don't just think it's about surf apps. I think it's about so many things, yeah? Like the internet in general constantly feeds us content to entertain our very short attention spans. And it just fills you with stuff that it thinks you like or thinks you want based on algorithmic numbers. Hey, you like this, here's more of this. Hey, you like this, you'll probably like this. I mean, what we're all doing is just fucking following these algorithms, following these numbers, following these platforms on these journeys. And it's like, and we're not discovering things for ourselves. It's this instant gratification. We want everything and we want it now. And that's the world we currently fucking live in. The only point is getting the thing at the end. We just don't stop sometimes to just enjoy the shit that happens around the stuff that we're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? What's that saying? Stop and smell the roses? That. I do get the irony of it, shooting a video, talking about being in the moment, but shooting a video, but I do understand the irony in that. This is just one journey of a bunch of things like this. That's why, like, normally when I surf, I don't take cameras with me because it's the one chance in my life where, like, I'm disconnected from the world. There's no phones, no tech, no one can get hold of me. None of that shit. I hate the fact that I wear an Apple Watch when I surf, but I do like knowing the time when I'm in the water. And I do like being able to track some of the movement. Yeah, so you got to find your balances. I'm not saying get rid of everything, stop using the internet. Although, what a delightful world that would be, wouldn't it? Right, I'm freezing cold. This has been great fun. Enjoy the journey of life, the little gifts of life that it just keeps giving you, yeah? Think about that. All right, let's get out of here.